Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. 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 Welcome to Predator Concrete Jungle here on Off the Shelf Reviews, Saturday Sequential Gaming. I'm Percy the Predator.
And I'm Gary. And this is Predator Concrete Jungle Part 6.
Part 6.
Woohoo! And we're halfway through the game already.
We are. Last week we were captured.
Yeah, what happened last week, Ian? Remind me.
We were captured by the Borgias and we were taken to their secret lab, and the dad, Hunter
sure
Borgia,
took
wants to experiment on me.
The mushroom man as a trophy. El
Yep.
Hongo.
Yeah,
I
El
believe.
Hongo. Yeah,
Yep.
the mushroom.
And I believe there was talk of xenomorphs.
No, there was talk of xenopredators.
Oh,
Not
okay.
xenomorphs.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Oh,
Gary.
right. But still, isn't a xenopredator?
Well, I think that's what they
Predator
consider the
xenomorph.
predators in this universe. You know, he's been capturing. But today I'm going to change the costume because, well, we've had no requests for costume changes yet.
Bad blood. It's got to be bad blood.
Bad
Let's go
blood.
to the future. Yeah.
Neonopolis 2030.
This is one made for the game, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to look pretty weird in these videos.
I think so. Well, I'm down with that.
And go to the chapter select. And today we are on A Night to Remember.
Isn't that the name of the film with that ship that famously sank?
The Titanic. Yeah. I think it is, actually. I think it is. This is a bit of a flashback, really.
Okay.
1930s
He's
Chicago.
still got his trophy.
Yep.
It's turf and blood. That's the law.
There's the man down there, Bruno Borgia. Look at the size of him.
Man,
Freaking
that's-
massive.
He's an ape.
Yeah.
Blood, O'Brien. That's why they all want a piece of Bruno Borgia. In this jungle, I'm the ultimate fucking predator.
Did you? I take it this cutscene. The Predator automatically decided he was going to voice capture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just did it himself. Like I said, it's a bit of a flashback. A bit of a glitch there. I don't know what that was. But yeah, obviously, after being captured, we're in the lab and we're kind of knocked out at the moment.
So having memories now.
Yeah, a bit of a memory flashback. I don't know what's going on. He seems to be jumping. If it jumps again, I might just skip it and just tell you what happens. It's what happens when you play old Xbox games on an Xbox 360 when there's an Xbox One next to it. It conflicts.
Yeah. You know, I still haven't yet played a Xbox 360 game on the Xbox One. I am part of the program that allows me to play these backwards compatible games, yet there's been none that I've wanted to play.
No, well, you played them.
yet.
You played them
I
all
already
and you
played
completed them. So
Yeah.
just to go back and do them all again, you'd have to really be a...
Fresh saves, I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm guessing it'll still be buggy as hell. It'll probably skip or not play the music or...
Not in high definition, full
No, it should
screen
be.
kind
No,
of
it should
stuff.
be. It should at least be upscaled. Or,
Hopefully.
yeah. What's it, 900p upscale to 1080, whatever the specifics are.
Yeah, I don't know that kind
Still
of
looks
stuff.
pretty.
Yeah, it still looks pretty. This still looks pretty. I'm retro like
This
that.
game still looks ugly.
I'm retro like that. I see past the ugliness.
I've got to say, they look like siphon filter characters.
Yeah, siphon filter. That was a classic.
That was a classic.
That's a classic. Right, okay, follow Bruno into the museum. And yeah,
Damn.
looking a bit weird.
Looks like you have been captured and tested upon. It looks like the thing on his back was actually going through his waist at one point.
Yeah. I just love his
He's
mask.
got no armor. That's the thing.
He's just got nothing. He's just got this
Just
thing
got these
on his
scars.
face. Right, okay, I can't cloak at the moment because it's been raining, so all the water is on the floor.
Plus, it doesn't look like you've even got your wristband either.
My wrist claws.
Yeah. Doesn't look like you got anything.
There's Bruno. He's making his way towards the museum, and his gang, I think, are
Waiting for you outside.
well. No, they're actually rioting. He's trying to take over the city.
Right.
So I mean, I could go and fight all those cops and gang members over there, but I'm not going to. Waste of kills. Grab these spears though.
Could come in handy.
Yep. Oop.
Well, while you go climbing into the museum, Ian.
Yep.
I'll just tell everyone what I've been up to this last
You
week.
go right ahead.
I've watched a few things this last week, and I'm surprised that I've made it as far as I have into this TV show that I am currently invested in.
Okay.
It's called Dark Matter.
Right.
And it's basically, I was sold on the premise of what the show was before I really started watching the show. And the setup of it is that 6 crew members, or you believe they're crew members, all wake up in cryo sleep on a ship that's about to explode, basically. And they sort of wake up and they get to the console, or at least 3 of them do, and before you know it, they're fighting each other.
Okay.
And one person eventually gets to the console and stops the ship from blowing up and saves everyone else that's in cryosleep. And then they start asking each other who each other are. And they've all had their memories wiped.
Right, okay then.
So I was like, okay, that's quite an interesting setup for a TV show.
Yeah.
They've got no idea who they are, and they're all on the spaceship together. So I'm like, so, well, has there been an apocalypse? Were they on a voyage somewhere?
Yeah.
But, they end up they end up basically figuring out that every single one of them is a wanted criminal for some crime or other.
Right.
So they're all... And you know what I started to get a feel for? Like, if this was in some way a spiritual successor to Firefly.
Okay.
Now, I've got to say, for me, no sci-fi show has come close to capturing the essence of what made Firefly, which was the writing, the cast, the script. It was just all... It all came together in one beautiful ensemble.
Yeah.
Dark Matter is trying really hard to capture something like that, where they are the bad guys doing some good things in space, while you've got all these warring companies, corporations. You got the fringe planets. You got people that are starving. You got people that have their independence.
Yeah.
Yet the corporations want their planets for mining.
Yeah.
There's gun smuggling. There's sex robots. There's intergalactic war on the horizon, and then you've got this one ship that's sort of on the fringe of everything, on the run from everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm 10 episodes in, and I've kind of decided to give light entertainment a go. Because before I was like, if you're watching all those sci-fi shows, they're just lame.
Yeah.
Because they don't ever... there's no real gravity towards it. Everything's tidied up at the end of the episode. It's like old Star Trek.
Yeah.
Whereas, it doesn't have the raw grittiness of Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or Breaking Bad or anything of that sort of genre. But if you're willing to give sort of lowbrow sci-fi a go, Dark Matter is a pretty interesting show so far. Because I'm 10 episodes in, and I'm going to keep watching it. For some reason, I like these characters.
Yeah.
Speaking of new TV shows, pretty much one of the most interesting TV shows to start this year, if you're a fan of zombies, Fear the Walking Dead. Now, Ian, before I get started, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, only if you can avoid the spoilers like that.
It's got zombies in it.
Well, surprise.
If I spoil it for you.
Surprise.
If I spoil it for you.
Yes, you totally spoiled a program based on The Walking Dead by telling me there's zombies in it.
Yeah, but remember, it's supposed to be set before the apocalypse.
Yeah, well,
right?
this is it. If you said there were no zombies in it, then I'd be surprised, and then I'd be like, well, spoilers.
There is a scene, where there is a guy, and the camera's slowly coming up behind him, and he's hunched over, face away from the camera.
Yeah.
And the camera's slowly coming up towards him, and the music starts. And then he turns around and he goes, "You all right?" And you're fully expecting him to be a zombie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, no zombies yet. Oh, no zombies yet. It's just teasing and teasing. But to be honest, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead has done everything right, in my opinion. I would say that I actually felt that it was going a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And that it didn't introduce enough characters in the first episode. It really just followed a very select few characters.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to see... But then again, this is just the first episode. Maybe the next episode will be a different group somewhere else, and then the next episode a different group somewhere else until they all come together.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. I have not looked ahead. But all I can say is it's captured me. So much so that I'm tempted to not watch anymore now until
the whole series is done.
Until maybe at least the whole first half season is done.
Yeah.
But absolutely got my attention. They've done it right. So I won't go into any real spoilers.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't watch it But that's because obviously over here in the UK we don't have the luxury of having AMC unless you are signed up to BT Sky, and I'm not. And you can look for it on the internet, but certain websites are banned on certain internet contracts. So everybody was like, "Oh, I've got to rush out and I've got to see this," and I was just like, "Why? It's still going to be there in like 6 months. There's no massive rush for it. It's only the first episode."
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people like to watch them straight away because of fear of the spoilers.
Yeah, well, this is it. I've told everybody not to spoil it for me, because if you spoil it for me, I will personally go out of my way and spoil something massive for you. So let's not start that war. But I can expect it's going to have some really cool characters, some zombies, some people getting eaten, character development.
Which is what I'm so glad about, is that you don't know who any of these characters are.
Yeah.
You don't know where they're supposed to die, what they're supposed to say, because it's not based on any original groundwork.
Exactly.
Which is why I
nice.
love it. It's got free reign.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm excited about watching unfold.
Okay, so what we're seeing here is Bruno has taken his wife to a church for protection, and she's about to give birth to Hunter.
Hunter?
The son who has captured us in the future.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so Bruno obviously realizes now that he's been hunted by this thing and wants to stop it
of course
from killing him, because he wants to rule the city. And so we're inside a museum.
Looks like an Egyptian exhibit.
Yeah.
I want to see a predator with some Egyptian armor.
So the cool thing is, I mean, I've already done the bonus on this level, but there's a guy that if you get spotted...
Wasn't it the predators that built the pyramids in AVP?
No, wasn't it the giant robots from Transformers?
Wasn't it the Prometheans that built the pyramids?
Wasn't it Apocalypse from X-Men?
No, I think it was Zod.
Yeah, General Zod.
It was General Zod.
It was somebody. It definitely wasn't humans.
Oh, but that's not all I've watched this last weekend. I also watched another movie, one that maybe not review.
Okay.
I almost wanted to review it. I almost wanted to go, Ian, watch this week. We're going to review it.
Yeah.
We still might, because I might just like to watch it again, because sometimes I like to watch the world end.
Yeah.
And it's San Andreas. Just came out on Blu-ray.
Oh, you can't
So
beat
I've
a bit of The Rock.
Got myself a copy, and you know what? I didn't buy it because The Rock was in it. I brought it because it's a film about, the San Andreas fault line going off, not made by Roland Emmerich. I kept looking, on the credits. I was like, directed by Roland Emmerich? Nope. Produced by Roland Emmerich? Nope. Written by Roland Emmerich? Nope. I will say that in the end credits, there was an Emmerich in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So that just made me go, right, yeah, that's why it was bad. And I gotta say, San Andreas?
Yeah.
It's freaking awful.
What did you expect
from
a disaster film?
No, come
really?
on. No, hear me out,
Okay,
dude.
I'll hear you out.
Disaster movies were my bread and butter growing up.
Yeah.
I loved The Poseidon Adventure. I loved The Towering Inferno.
Yeah.
I loved Earthquake.
Yeah.
I loved Twister. I loved these disaster movies.
Right, yeah.
Big time. And you know what was so great about them was that there was such an ensemble group of characters. Now, I will say that trope has run its course in straight-to-DVD disaster movies.
Yeah.
What was the magnitude earthquake, 10 point, 11
yeah,
point, whatever.
Yeah, all those ones.
And there's a ton of them. There was like one released every year.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, San Andreas, okay, please don't be 2012. Please don't be that setup. And you know what? It follows every single one of those tropes to a T. To a goddamn T. You know what? The Rock, yeah?
Yeah.
He's got a family, but what's going on? He's being divorced.
Yeah.
And his wife is moving in with the new guy.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen that? And it was the exact setup of 2012.
Yeah, it was.
And what happens? The Rock comes in to save his ex-wife. Comes in to save his daughter. Spoilers, the guy that she moved in with turned out to be a total dick who pretty much almost got the family killed and dies in a horrific way. And I was like, I fucking didn't see that coming, did I?
Right, okay, but
It's so cliched. It was.
apart from
literally. Apart from that, that made me laugh out loud a lot.
yeah.
So.
I mean, not everybody is an experienced film viewers like you and I. So not everybody is going to
hasn't
know.
already seen this film 50 times
50
before watching
times.
it with the
Yeah.
rock in placement of whoever.
That's it. And so at the same time, apart from that, special effects for the disaster itself.
Absolutely breathtaking.
Right. That's what I would go watch.
But not enough. I didn't get to see enough people dying. You know what?
You want to watch a snuff movie? You go out and get yourself a snuff movie. You want to see people get, saved, I suppose. I just killed Bruno in like 5 seconds.
That was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But Paul Giamatti, he was probably my favorite character.
Paul
in the film.
Giamatti is
him
pretty
running
awesome.
around going, "There's gonna be another earthquake. Get onto your desks."
Yeah.
He was pretty cool. The scene with the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
At the beginning, for me, was the most breathtaking part. After that, it was just kind of you're along for the ride. And
Yeah, there's a reason why I haven't rushed out to see this film yet, because I saw the poster and went, it's got The Rock in it.
Yeah.
I can see that this film it's like, what, a 12?
he doesn't have to.
It's a 12.
It's a 12.
Right, yeah. So so this is it. That little number down in the right-hand corner, Gary, tells you kind of like the mentality that you have to enjoy that film. You have to sit down to be 12.
I want somebody to give Eli Roth, the money.
No, wait.
make.
Well, okay, if we're going to start this, you and I disagree massively on Cabin Fever.
Well, yeah.
So you cannot bring up Eli Roth.
Well, I just mean that he likes to bring in the blood and the guts. I just want him to see him do it on a much grander scale.
He did it in a brilliant scale on Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever was awesome.
We'll get to Cabin Fever another time.
It's better than Tekken.
Well, I don't know about that.
Right, okay, so I've just gone through the memories. There he is, Scarface's. Oh, wow, he's got his dread. I forgot he would shave his dreadlocks off, so he's all kind of. He looks actually.
No, like I said, this
now.
is like I said. They've done all the tests on him.
Yeah,
which is
they've
why
done
he
all the
looks
tests on
so.
him.
I mean, he's got a lot of blood on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Escape. How are you meant to escape?
Just gotta tap the buttons.
Just
Gotta
pure,
get one
pure
hand free,
strength.
pure strength. Yeah, I got one hand and one.
And the other one just
Nice.
came free on its own.
As you can see, I've got no energy and 10 health.
So, you need to feed on her brains. She was unarmed.
No brains in there.
No.
I'll look for this guy's brains. Have you got brains? Brains on the wall. I'm going to lick them off.
You just need a straw. I still think that he was drinking brain juice in Predator 2.
Predator 2. Right, okay. I've got to be all sneaky.
I also just want to apologise to anyone that goes to watch our Predator 2 video right now. If there are unskippable advertisements on that video, you can blame 20th Century Fox for completely taking control over our review.
Yeah.
It's
very nice of them to email us.
Oh, it was very nice of them to email us and go, yeah, this belongs to us now. So I could delete the video, which would probably give us a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Or I can just concede to the mega corporations and go, yeah, you now own our review. Which is what I'm likely going to do, because I don't want to kick the hornet's nest, because it was one of the first times we did not get flagged by the bots. This was manually detected. Unless, of course, this is just the new scare tactics that YouTube's employing.
That would be nasty, actually.
It would be pretty nasty. But just a heads up for anyone. I doubt anyone's actually going to find the answer by clicking on this video in particular. But for those that are regular viewers, listeners, you know the situation.
Right. Get my mask.
So we were actually asked an interesting question on the Facebook page, which I know neither of us have yet answered.
Yeah.
Your very first memorable movie experience.
I answered that one.
Did you? I didn't see your response.
Age 6, watching Jack get ripped apart by the werewolf in American Werewolf in London.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a big one, right? That's
Yeah.
a scary scene, especially for a 6-year-old to see, and I was terrified.
I guess. I mean, I saw a lot of shit at a very early age. I can tell you the very first film I ever remember seeing is The Jungle Book. That was the very first film I ever saw in the cinema.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that film. But I guess you ever see a film called The Burning?
Yeah.
Where they burn a guy alive at the beginning.
Yeah.
And they call him Cropsy, and he goes around with a big pair of shears.
Shears cutting people's eyes out and heads off.
I mean, I had the unedited, full cut version of that tape when I was like 12.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger. I think that was also the film where I ever saw my first pair of boobs in a film as well. So I guess that film's always kind of stuck in memory. Along with The Bite. I think it was on the same videotape.
Oh, God, I wish I could delete that bloody memory.
But speaking of first memories as well, I'm trying to think. Jurassic Park was one of the most memorable films I ever saw in cinema.
I just got to bring this up quickly, actually.
Okay.
While you're talking. I've just recorded 2 security guards talking about one of them sleeping with this guy down here's wife.
Oh.
And so I recorded it with my vocal mimicry, and while he was talking, he said, "I hope Brad doesn't find out. This is Brad."
Oh,
and I'm
hey,
about
guess what, Brad?
Get my vocal mimicry out. Hey, Brad, guess what? Been sleeping with your wife. So it distracts him, so he's gonna go off and fight the security guard.
Man, you reckon these guys were using that website?
yeah. It's the future Ashley Manson. Look, they're running a fight. It's like, you've been sleeping with my wife. Oh, domestic dispute in Predator Concrete Jungle.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Right, okay, get down to here. Go over and grab the weapons. Jump, go on.
But I guess if I was going to say my other most lasting, or the earliest memory I have in film,
Yeah.
it's probably going to be John Carpenter's The Thing as well. I remember it was a Christmas day. I was sat in front of the TV eating my Christmas dinner, watching The Thing. And of course, I'd put the movie on just beforehand, and you just know that the timing of the dog sequence was at the exact moment that I'd started eating my dinner.
Yeah.
And I looked down at my roast, like Christmas dinner, and then looked up at the screen, and suddenly lost my appetite. So I guess those are some. There's probably more,
Ronan,
but
Ronan.
you know, sometimes memory can be a real bitch.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get nailed by these
You're
Ronan.
down to 2 health.
Yeah. I've got to open up. I've got to use one of the
jump
scientists.
away and get up high, get to cover.
Use the scientist to open the doors. There's weapons, and oh, it's Lucretia. Lucretia, what are you doing here?
It looks like she's having a moment.
That's great. I'm gonna kill her and see what happens. No.
I'm surprised she survived that
yeah,
long.
You're gonna have to kill me, Ronan, haven't you? Yeah.
What?
Kill me.
What's happened? Why are you?
I needed to get a scientist to unlock a door so that I could get my weapons back.
Right.
But
That didn't happen.
no, I've never seen Lucretia on this level before.
You think she was supposed to have gotten out?
I think she was supposed to have wandered off, and I jumped down way too early.
Right.
So.
Right.
But
So spam attack, break yourself free.
bring myself free again. I'm not going to kill these guys because it's a bit.
They're not going to regenerate your health in any
no,
way.
No, it was only fun. Huh. This is where obviously the sneaking aspects of the game, like I said in the other previous levels,
I'm
should have got you
surprised.
ready.
You look like a flippin' glow stick.
I just need one of those medicomps. Right.
And no one else there seems that
No,
bothered.
no, no, God, it's just a screen behind him, like she's having sex. These are all test subjects. These are all guys who've been tested on. As you can see, they're green, so that's like, don't,
Toxic.
yeah, don't kill them. They're friendly. It's like, oh, okay, right. I should. Every now and again, you've really got to check your objectives as well, just in case you go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I didn't do that.
Okay. Well, and I don't mean to provoke you in any way.
Okay.
But, you know, some people have said to me that you have very conflicted opinion on 2 very similar films.
Right.
That they would consider similar films. And do you know exactly? You know where I'm going, don't you?
No, well,
It's a long-running debate that I would just like to bring probably to a close here now that Wormwood has gone live.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks after our review for Dead Rising Watchtower.
Right.
Both essentially low-budget zombie movies.
Yeah.
You highly favoured one of them, and it came very clearly said that the other one was an absolute mess.
Yes.
If being 2 separate zombie films, how could
How could I hate shit rising Watchtower and love Wormwood? Okay,
yeah.
you want to get on that? You want to get on that
I just want to bring
horse?
this to a close.
We'll get on that horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit rising Watchtower was really bad because it was an internet-based TV show that they extended into a film just to make their money back because they knew they weren't going to make their money back. There are so many cuts in that you could just turn it into an episodic adventure. That's my first thought off. Secondly,
so you're saying it was much more of a commercial product from this Crackle studio.
Yep.
I don't think they had any relation with the TV series that was running in Japan or
No,
anything
but this
like
is
that.
it. They wanted to make it an episodic adventure. I mean, come on. That film had so many
I don't think it was episodic.
Did it have a lot of Fade to Blacks?
Yeah, but that was
Yes.
because in its original airing on Crackle,
Right.
every one of those Fade to Blacks was an advert break.
Exactly. You don't keep advert breaks on your TV show. When you release it on DVD,
Yeah.
you kind of cut that stuff out. You stem it away. But the Fade to Blacks kind of just took me out of it a lot more than what I was getting from it. Secondly, they keep the Frank West character, the main character of the Dead Rising series, they keep him slapped in a television studio and make him the comedy element. Now, I understand your view on Frank West,
Yeah.
but for me, Frank West should have been in there killing zombies with the other guy, making the same goddamn jokes, but not making
Frank
it...
West was smart enough to not want to be back into a
not
zombie
in
apocalypse.
not in the film. If it's based on the game, you should be basing it on the game. Okay, now we get to the next point.
But
we
you know what?
have this reporter guy who we're supposed to follow around, and we're supposed to care about him. Care about him? Why? He has no family. We get no backstory on him. He's just looking for himself. He's just trying to get something for himself so he can be a great journalist like Frank West. Oh, but wait, hold on a minute. Let's just jump back because now he wants to save people because his friend has been captured by the military, who we're not supposed to believe are suspicious behind this thing. But if you're ever a fan of the Dead Rising series, you know the military are usually behind it.
Okay, so if it was called something completely different,
It still wouldn't have worked.
you still wouldn't have liked it. Just so it's not just because it was, an extension of the Dead Rising universe.
It's not just because it had the Dead Rising label slapped on it. That made it worse because they were trying to attach it to the Dead Rising series. You yourself already know that it was based in the Dead Rising universe, yeah?
Yeah.
And there's a part where a guy is playing the Dead Rising video game in the film.
Yeah.
Now, people want to talk about dumb points in movies. How the fuck do they make a Dead Rising game based in the Dead Rising series, Dead Rising universe, for the Dead Rising series?
I don't know,
That's like Ripley playing Alien Trilogy through the Alien series. It doesn't make any sense. There's another part where the guy makes a bunch of weapons. Frank West actually says to him, make weapons. So he makes loads of weapons, and what does he do? As soon as he comes out of the pawn shop, he loses them 5 minutes later. What was the fucking point of making all those weapons if you're just gonna fucking lose them? Pardon my French.
Could I come out now?
Yeah, you can
Can I come back now?
There's just so many points in that thing that made it unenjoyable and boring and just not fun. Where Wormwood, I sat down with the very same attitude, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, it wasn't the freaking greatest movie ever made.
I was pleasantly surprised with Wormwood as well, and I will say that of the two,
Yeah.
I would rather rewatch Wormwood because it had, for me, more originality to it. It
Right.
had more humor
Yeah.
to it that just seemed to come naturally. Yeah, like I said, sometimes I have trouble with mind-controlled zombies.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really explain itself. It was just like, oh yeah, she has this power because of this scientist, maybe?
Yeah.
It's not really explained, and it does kind of, take the fear element away of the fact that she is mind-controlling zombies. It's just like, well, You know, if they were to make a sequel,
Yeah, but
with that,
we're talking. I mean, what gave Wormwood more credence was the fact it was just like Bad Taste. It was made over 4 years.
yeah. Which
you
I mean,
know?
yeah, credit is due anyway.
They took
for
a
that,
lot of
but
effort into that. They
Yeah.
put a lot of effort into it.
It wasn't made over like the 4 weeks or 4 months that Dead Rising Watchtower was made.
Exactly. Dead Rising Watchtower was made over 4 weeks. Goddamn Ronin are coming back. I'm gonna have to walk through this. I'm grabbing scientists left and right, and they're still not
Still not activating the terminal.
activating the terminal. Yeah, that's it. Dead Rising Watchtower. We're gonna put Dead Rising's name on it, and hopefully Dead Rising fans will go out and buy it. And as a Dead Rising fan, if I went out and bought that, I'd probably snap it in half after, and be like, well, that was a complete waste of money. People talk about game to film renditions. There aren't many that work.
There are any at all?
Are there any at all? People sit there and moan and...
I still think Dead Rising Watchtower is probably the closest to a successful adaptation.
Bollocks,
Because I think it's better than all the other adaptations.
Bollocks, is it? There was more fucking entertainment and fun in Silent Hill than there was in Dead Rising Watchtower.
No, Silent Hill is a much bigger fuck up.
How?
Because it was made by someone who did not understand Silent Hill.
Oh, and Dead Rising Watchtower was made by a freaking genius who's completed all 3 games, was it?
It didn't insult me as much as the insult came in the Silent Hill movie when Pyramid Head showed up. And Pyramid Head was thrown in there because, he was the most iconic, monster in the franchise.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have ever turned up again after Silent Hill 2. Ever. Because he was a creation of the character of James.
I give you that. Yes, that is true. Following the lineage
It's
of
the
the
same
games,
with the nurses,
he shouldn't be in it. Well, the nurses. Were,
the nurses were part of James's perversion.
The nurses were in number 1 as well. They were in the hospital.
Yeah.
So the nurses are actually more
but there was no
prominent in the series than anything else.
Yeah, but I think they became much more hypersexualized in the second one.
Yeah,
because of James's infatuation.
Right. Okay. Let's go.
But I'm just saying there was no reason for them to keep going to the frickin' Silent Hills hospital.
Yeah. Okay. Let's both agree that when people make these game to film films, they're usually not by fans who have actually taken the time to actually play the game and seen it. But at least as a film, you can sit there and go, that was a really shit film. You can't say that for Dead Rising Watchtower because it started off as a TV series and they released it as a film because nobody was watching it. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, the film fucking ends on a fucking cliffhanger.
Well, of course it does.
So
does every Dead Rising.
So if they don't bring out a fucking sequel, the end of Dead Rising Watchtower is completely pointless. And even if they do bring out a freaking sequel, are you really going to care for those characters?
I'm afraid to answer.
But answer. I want you to answer.
I'm coming back for the next part. Dead Rising, beach ball. I don't know. Dead Rising circus tricks. I don't care what they call it.
Yeah, and people say I watch crappy films.
Yeah, my standards, some people have said, are fairly low. But whatever.
Whatever. I'll watch it. Yeah, but that's fine. We all get our own enjoyment out of it, and I'm not going to stand there and give somebody grief for goddamn Ronin have spotted me again.
Damn it!
Yeah, I know. They're just like right down there.
You've got to get out of here, Percy, because time's up.
I know. I'm gonna come here. Oh, I didn't want to do that.
Bonus mission complete.
Yeah,
what was that? Killing every scientist.
No, it gives you an extra suit.
Which you already have.
Which I already have.
It's probably the one you're already in right now.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stand there and tell you you're some kind of nasty description just for liking Dead Rising. Goddamn Ronin. I'm pretty sure the scientist should activate that control panel. I'm going to have to check it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it.
Oh, you're dead.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to leave him in this place. But I'm not going to insult people. If you are a fan of Dead Rising Watchtower and you enjoyed it, then that is completely fine. We all have our own individual enjoyments.
Guilty pleasures and so on. Yeah.
I personally didn't enjoy it. I have many, many reasons why I didn't enjoy it. Like I have said before, I would watch Tekken before I would watch Dead Rising Watchtower, and I'm pretty sure we all understand where I stand with Tekken. You know, I just can't.
Yeah, that's
you know,
that's fair. That's fair.
I'd watch the Sharknado trilogy before I'd watch Dead Rising Watchtower again.
I don't know about that, but I do still want to see the third one because I haven't seen that one yet. But
It's really bad.
I might save that for next week.
It's really bad. Right, I'm gonna leave myself hanging here.
That's all we got time for this week. We will be back next Saturday with Predator Concrete Jungle. In the meantime, you can always catch our film reviews on Thursdays, game video plays on Fridays, and you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon.
I can't escape. Escape.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.